Labour begins picketing of NERC discos offices over electricity tariff hike. Northern governors commit to joint action for regional security. Economic hardship sparks concern among Nigerians, including youth corps members. And on the international scene, Indonesia flood death toll rises to 41 with 17 missing. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us and the details. Members of the organized labor have started picketing the offices of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, the NERC, and distribution companies' discos premises nationwide over the hike in electricity tariff. The action of the workers follows a joint directive from the leadership of both the Nigerian Labour Congress, the NLC, and the Trade Union Congress, the TUC, at weekend to their members to picket these offices in protest of the tariff hike. Leading members of the labour unions in the protest at the headquarters of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission in Abuja this morning is the NLC President, Joe Ajaero, with the workers asking for an immediate reversal in the hike of the electricity tariff.
So for 25 years, Nigeria has been on 4,000 and has been over 1,000% increase in tariff. And that's 4,000 megawatts. On daily basis, it goes down to 3,000, 2,000. But whether it is 2,000 in a month or 3,000 in a month, we pay the same thing. So Nigerians need help. And then the idea of saying that the private sector will develop Nigeria in the electricity sector has never happened. Ordinarily, the global index is that wherever you have 1 million people, you have 1,000 megawatts. Nigeria has over 200 million people with 4,000 megawatts. So what are we going to do that one? You can't develop a country economically with what is happening. And NEC is only interested in taxing Nigerians and increasing tariff from 4,000 megawatts that Lagos can take conveniently alone. And then I don't see why all this struggle up and down on tariff instead of how to increase power supply, power generation, and distribution.
In the same vein, the members of the Nigerian Labour Congress, the NLC, on Monday morning shut down the headquarters of the Just Electricity Distribution Company, the JEDC, in Plateau State over electricity tariff hike. On Sunday night, the Labour workers announced that they will shut down offices of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, the NERC, and distribution companies, the DISCOs, over the recent increase in electricity tariff. Ado Musa was there and now completes the report.
The members of the Labour Union arrived at the company as early as 6:30 a.m. following the directives of the national body of the union to shut down all the electricity discos in the country. Security operatives, including the police, DSS, and NCDC, were at the entrance of the company to prevent any breakdown of law and order. On arrival at the building, members of the union blocked the main gate of the company, hanging leaves on the gate to show their grievances. Their actions, however, left the staff of the company stranded outside the main building.
We came in, the union people just locked our gates that we can't enter. So the cause of everything is because of the increase in tariff. But the jet is not the problem, it's the NEC. If they want to do any protest, let them go to the NEC, go to Ministry of Power, go to the office of the presidency and do their the protest, than avoiding us entering inside the office.
Yeah, we feel very bad because we are essential service providers. If the staff are prevented from getting into their various offices, one, the revenue of the company, the meager resources we get will dampen. Definitely it will nosedive. You understand? And secondly, there might not be supply. You understand? So instead of treating an open wound with GV or iodine, you are adding salt or pepper to an open wound.
The state chairman of the NLC, Eugene Manji, explains why they comply with the directive of the national body of the union.
The grievances is that, they increased the percentage to almost 300%, arbitrarily without discussing or in negotiation with the labor or with Nigerians or the masses of the country. Who can contend that 300% increase? The increase of electricity from 300, from 65 to almost how many kilowatts per naira? So when you look at the negative replicative effects on the economy, you can't contain it.
Comrade Naalla Adamu, Zonal Organizing Secretary of the National Union of Electricity Employee in charge of the Northeast, also said they are in support of the NLC's call for the reversal of the electricity tariff.
Federal government who directed NAC to increase or to inflate or to hijack the electricity tariff should immediately reverse it because of the following. One, ordinary maize, masara, we are eating. When you take it to the grinding machine, if you have 10 measures, if you are paying, let's say 1,000, now it's going to be paying more than 1,000, maybe 5,000. Because an ordinary customer, a residential customer whom the management of JED is getting hard even to collect 10,000 from him after consuming more than 100,000 naira electricity. Now you are sending him 275,000 for him to pay. That means I should surrender my hamlet so that the company will pay me balance.
The spokesperson of the DISCO, Elijah Adekule, appeals to the labor union to allow some of their staff who are on essential services access into the building to ensure power supply is not cut off.
I'm still appealing to them to kindly allow our staff who are on essential services, especially those who are managing our energy, to be allowed to go. Those who are technical in case there are faults, which may result to accident, so that they'll be able to do what they are supposed to do.
The recent electricity tariff hike has witnessed a widespread condemnation across the country, with various stakeholders calling for the withdrawal of the hike. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
The organized labor under the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress, the NLC, and the Trade Union Congress, the TUC, has picketed the headquarters of the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company in Kaduna over the recent hike in electricity tariff for customers on Band A categories. The Labour members, led by Kaduna NLC and TUC Chairman Comrade Ayuba Magaji Suleiman and Comrade Al-Hassan Danfulani, called for immediate reversal of the tariff. They kicked against alleged segregation by the electricity sector through class differentiation in supply. The Labour leaders also asked the federal government to reverse the privatization of the distribution subsector of the electricity industry. They argued that the privatized distribution subsector has done nothing but cheated Nigerians and making profit at the detriment of underserved citizens. All right, away from that, as part of efforts to address the scourge of electricity or insecurity rather in northern Nigeria, the governor of Sokoto State, Ahmed Aliyu, has emphasized the collaborative efforts by the northern governors to streamline commitment to ensure safety and security. The report.
Governor Ahmed Aliyu's trip to Dutse was not only to offer condolences to the Jigawa State Governor, but also symbolized the shared commitment of Jigawa and Sokoto to mutual development. Reflecting on the proactive measures taken by northern governors, Governor Aliyu underscored their relentless dedication to working alongside the federal government to confront challenges of security, poverty, and inflation head-on.
It is not time for speeches. We are here for condolence, and we are here to strengthen the relationship that exists between Jigawa and Sokoto State. You may recall 7 months
ago, he was in Sokoto State and he commissioned some of my projects.
In reciprocation, Governor Umar Namdi expressed gratitude for the solidarity shown by his Sokoto counterpart, recognizing the invaluable exchange of knowledge and experiences between the two states.
You are history. You are a principled person. Very principled for that matter. Like you said, it's not a speech time. But people don't need to know who is Dr. Ahmed. He's one of the few people that let his position as a deputy governor. On principle.
Accompanied by his wife Fatima Ahmed Aliu, the Sokoto State Governor's visits culminated in prayers for the departed, underscoring the unity and resilience of Northern leadership in times of adversity.
Joining us via phone call from Imo State is Ajibade Praise, or via Zoom rather, to dissect the organized labor picketing of the NERC and the discourse in Imo State. Good afternoon, Ajibade. It's good to have you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so tell us what happened this morning in Imo State.
Sorry, pardon, come again, please. I can hear you well.
Okay, I said, go ahead, tell us what happened, with the organized labor marching to the NERC and also the discourse.
Yes, as it is in Imo State, the organized labor are all out, trying their best to make sure what they want to achieve in the electricity sector is done appropriately. This morning, I was able to come across some of their activities as they went from office to office of the EEDC in the state, in their picketing activity. And I could see that most of these offices were actually being locked. It was done very early this morning. Most of the offices were locked. Staffs were actually asked to evacuate the place. And while that was ongoing, I was also able to solicit the consent of the publicity secretary of the NLC in the state, who also doubles as the NUJ chairman in the state, talking about Comrade Nwangoma Ifeanyi. And he's here with me to also give detail of what transpired today. Comrade, can you tell us, you are actually live, can you tell us basically what was done today in Imo State as it concerned NLC as well as the electricity industry?
Thank you very much. Today, based on the directive of national leadership, the organized labor, which consists of Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress, back picketing of EEDC and DISCO companies in the state. The essence is for them to reverse to the original tariff, because the organized labor called them that they increase cannot work, and they went ahead to implement the new tariff. So what we're doing is to tell them to revert back to the original, the last tariff, not the this one cannot work, because in Imo State, you can't really see like what will happen is EDC in Imo State is another when you pay for bill, we see light, and you have to increase the bill. So the organized labor in Imo State, led by community NS chairman, the Jewish chairman for the Great, lead other members of the NLC and TUC. Whereas all EDC offices in Imo State, and as I'm talking to all of them, pick them, lock and key.
Okay, so what you are saying in essence is that no activities in any of these offices.
There's no activity in any of these offices that was picketed. And we gave an instruction. If by any mistake, any agent or staff of that company tampered with our key, they have the union, the organized labor union to condemn it. We have to wait for further directive of our national security before any other thing can be taken or done. There is need, people are so. EDC is not doing anything. The tariff is unheard, and even civil servants and workers are the heat. So there's need for them to look at the service you have in human face. EDC and DISCO, they are not helping us. Let me tell you, in Imo State alone, Imo State is going to consume 150 megawatts But when they want to buy, they go and buy 10 megawatts. And they will sell silent light. So if you see like the next one would see like, and when they buy it, they won't even justify the amount they are collecting from the people. So the share that could be described as a fraudulent. It's fraudulent. What is Yahoo Yahoo? Another area.
All right.
Yes.
Are you with us?
I
Ajibade?
say here. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So all these concerns and worries of the labor union, is it echoed all through Imo State?
Are the concerns echoed all through Imo State?
Yes. Imo is one. All of us marched through their offices from the headquarters, Douglas Road, World Bank, Port Harcourt Road, the Tiger Street, all. And we mobilized our members in all the local government to block all their local offices. As I'm talking to you, no office of EDC in Imo State and this go here for working.
All right.
Because it's unified. That means now the country.
Okay, thank you so much, Ajibade, for bringing us that update. Appreciate you, and we'll just have to wait and see what the answers to this picketing and protest would be from the federal government. Well, moving on from that, we have the animal traders are issuing warnings of a potential shortage of sacrificial animals ahead of the forthcoming Eid al-Adha. Marketers attribute these concerns to the combination of factors, including a rise in animal feed prices and reduced patronage of animals. Hassan Lawan Koli reports.
As Eid al-Adha approaches, concern rise over a decline in usual patronage at Gombe animal market such as Tiken Shanu. These markets are traditionally bustling with activity as people prepare their animals for sacrifice and transport them to various markets. However, this year there is a notable absence of the usual crowd and transactions, raising concerns among traders and buyers alike. The price of animals here is going down due to the low patronage. The animal feed was at its peak, so it is difficult for you to feed your animals well. Besides, people are struggling only to feed their families, so they are not even thinking about buying our animals at the moment. Rearing animals is hard nowadays. You can't feed them as you used to. The bag of local animal feed was 600 naira and it is now 2,000 naira. You have to spend 5,000 naira daily just to feed 3 to 5 rams. So with the recent hardship, it is unbearable. Although we thank Allah, the price is going down, but there is low patronage. With this development, most animal marketers are transporting their commodities to the southern part of Nigeria, where demand is high, which will further create shortages in the north. We are now taking our animals to the southern part of the country to maximize our profits. They are buying our commodities at higher prices compared to our people here in Gombe. Therefore, with all the cost of transporting them there, it is a better alternative for us, and there will be a shortage of animals in this market during Eid al-Adha. The price of food commodities in Nigeria has been fluctuating since the removal of fuel subsidies in May 2023. Hassan Lawan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up, Maiduguri residents voice concern over soaring prices of house rent. Stay tuned, the news will be back shortly. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. If you are just joining us, this is Trust News Update. Here's a recap of our top stories. Rotary Labour begins picketing of NERC Disco's offices over electricity tariff hike. And Northern governors commit to joint action for regional security. Moving on to more stories, residents of Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, have expressed frustration over the steep increase or rise in house rent prices, attributing the phenomenon to inflation and fluctuations in the dollar exchange rate. Dealers of building materials corroborate these concerns, citing reduced patronage from both estate developers and individuals within the metropolis. Trust TV's Beatrice Kurutsi has more in this report.
Maiduguri, a prominent city in Nigeria's northeast region, grapples with a surge in rent prices driven by escalating cost of construction materials in recent months. Mohammed Najib, a building materials supplier, highlights the drastic price increases. Blocks that once sold for 300 naira now command 500 naira, while roads exceed 3,000 naira and a bag of cement fetches 7,800 naira. Najib laments the downturn in business compared to previous years, attributing it to reduced demand from companies and estate developers due to the inflated prices of construction materials.
Even we business men, we are suffering due to the condition. So there is scarcity of customer and scarcity of products itself. Can say it is the causative agent of this condition that we found ourselves. I can say it is petroleum price and dollar exchange rate, because the more dollar exchange rate ascending to high, the more our product will increase the price. The lower the dollar rate, exchange rate, the lower the price.
Fenti kuma na oil yanzu ana sayarwa ko litan 13,500, amma kwanaki baya bai kai haka ba, to yanzu kayakin yanzu.
A 4 liter of paint is 13,400 naira, while a bundle of zinc is 65,000 naira. Back then it was over 80,000 naira. The prices increased because of the high cost of gas. The construction companies rely on gas for production. I don't get patronized like before. Sometimes I hardly sell 5 bags of cement in a day. If the government can intervene by reducing tax, it will make goods much more affordable. Concerned residents of Maiduguri voiced their distress over the escalating house rents in the metropolis, emphasizing the urgent need for government intervention to address the affordability crisis. Things are expensive and we find it difficult to pay. I have a family with children. Before now, I pay 40,000 naira for rent, but now it's 80,000 naira. So you see, government needs to do something about the difficult situation we find ourselves in today.
Before, like 60, 70 to 80, but now it's 170. If you no pay it, might just come out for the house. Even some glove wiring for house, if he scatter them, the landlord for the house, she's supposed to repair them, but she'll never repair. Now you go repair with your money. Put committee for any market to look the price of material, price of food, so that we are making the thing very low.
Amidst the current challenges, residents express optimism for an improved economy that would lead to a reduction in prices of goods and services, ultimately easing the burden of daily life. Beatrice Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
On the international scene, the number of people killed by flash floods and cold lava flow from a volcano in western Indonesia over the weekend has risen to 41, with 17 more missing. A local disaster agency official said hours of heavy rain caused large volcanic rocks to roll down one of Indonesia's most active volcanoes into 2 districts of Sumatra Island Saturday evening, while flooding inundated roads, homes and mosques. Heavy rains inundated neighborhoods with muddy flood waters and swept vehicles into a nearby river, while volcanic ash and large rocks rumbled down Mount Merapi. Cold lava, also known as lahar, is volcanic material such as ash, sand and pebbles carried down a volcano's slopes by rain. In sports, the Minister of Sports Development, John Eno, has unveiled Finidi George as the new head coach of the Nigerian men national team, the Super Eagles. The minister unveiled the former Super Eagles forward at an event in Abuja attended by the leaders of the Nigerian Football Federation on Monday morning. Finidi George got the job ahead of others following his position as an assistant coach to the former Super Eagles coach, Pesero. And with that, we wrap up Trust News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.